Alright, so anyway, we're going to get started with Stage 6, aka Round 6 of Final Fight 2. This is essentially Uptown from the first game, but you're pretty much in Japan, and this is the final area of the game where the Magi are keeping Maki's family held hostage. So we're going to be invading their base, pretty much. So right here, when you get to this point right here, turn around and attack these enemies right there, and then start jumping backwards. The goal is to hopefully despawn the enemies. And we got actually 2 out of 3, so that's not bad. You have to keep an eye for the Elliot that emerges over there, though, because he might just decide to leap at you. When you get to this part right here, move up a bit. This puts the Elliot in position of getting attacked. Take out these guys real quick, because we are going to be fighting some Roberts and Leons, and you do not want to be dealing with them when you fight them. Luckily, I got lucky there, but just keep in mind that they might leap at you. Take out this Endori with 3 punches and 3 headbutts, or what I just did, a jump attack, and then 2 punches and 3 headbutts. So right here, the next part right here, we're going to try to despawn an enemy right here. There's an Elite that emerges on the left, and technically the next enemy in order of the enemy lineup is to have an Atlas appear. So we're going to try to make that one appear. Now, technically, if you're got audio on whatnot, you'll probably want to have that up to hear for audio cues. Because if you hear a charge from the left, that probably means the despawn didn't work. Luckily, we were able to get the Atlas to appear, so we were very lucky. Fortunately, my life is not very good at the moment. Alright, so we got through that part just quickly, so that was good. Trying to corral these enemies together. Now that Elec right there will sometimes charge at you, so be ready to respond to that. Just corral these enemies and start beating them up when they become available. Normally it's a little bit more better, but it works. Afterwards, go straight up. And you want to hold down there. Pick up any of the items that are on the ground, because you do want them to... don't want to be picking them up while you're fighting enemies. Group these guys to the best of your ability. And unlike right here, I got an attack, but try to make sure they don't gang up on you real quick. Right now I'm just doing a poor job there. Technically it's more easier to get the triple headbutts, because they do so much damage. Technically, you want to get rid of the Endori as quickly as possible, because he takes a long time to bring down. And we just get rid of this Leon. Technically, this is not the best time I get through this area, but it's very hard to get a good time on that part. So when you get to this part, fight off these guys, corner them to the wall, and just try to get rid of the Atlas and the Elec that appears there. In short, you want to get rid of all of these enemies right there before you fight the Endoris, because these guys are going to cause problems. And you got other enemies to deal with. Corner them to the wall. Then just chop away at their HP with the infinite. So we got past that part. This next part has the Roberts and Leons. Trying to group them all together with a drop kick, and then hopefully get them with a chain joy. Of course, it won't always go the way you want it to, though. Anyway, Grandpa Endori is the last one you fight here. Got very lucky right there. So anyway, that concludes 6-2. 6-2 is kind of brutal to get through without dying, I might add. So anyway, we're going on to 6-3. What you want to do here is weaken these guys up, move back, do a pile driver on this Elias, get rid of them. Now this is the rough part right here, because the blocker's hallway is pretty nasty. got all of them. Nice. It is very hard to get the infinite on these guys, but try to get it on them if you can. There's also other attacks you could do, but the infinite actually works if you could land it. So if you get it on them, keep it on them. Oh wow, that's arguably my best blockers hallway yet. Anyway, once you get through these guys, hit the Scott twice, headbutt them, lure these guys to the bottom part if you can. Now we got 2 Helix coming, as well as the Scott. Try to group them to the best of your abilities. Of course, the Helix do take some time to get up, but there's 3 Helix in addition to the normal enemies you fight, so be very careful when you're fighting them. And anyway, this one should go down pretty quickly. Now you want to be jumping forward because sometimes this robber right there will attack you with a leap, so you want to be ready to counter that. In short, you want to make sure you're extra ready when you're dealing with the Roberts and the Leons, because you just don't know what their AI is going to do. Alright, try to keep the Elias from getting involved, because he will get all over you. And wow, this is arguably my best room yet. So anyway, that clears 6-3. 6-3 is usually the worst part, especially Blocker's Hallway. For this part, you want to drop kick the Selic, do 2 punches on him, 3 headbutts. Just do whatever you want with these guys. For the most part, we're going to keep our character on the bottom plane and make sure we don't get hit by the fire bombs. Just move forward to the best of your ability. Now keep an eye out. We are going to keep this barrel intact. Now, sometimes the despawn won't always work against the Elic that emerges on the left. So if you're using audio, you'll be able to hear it. Alright, so the next part right here, because we kept the barrel intact, we got rid of Johnny, in addition to getting rid of Mark in the last room. Alright, so right now, all you have to do is just try to fight off these Elics. You have to deal with 3 of them in addition to the enemies. Now that Elliot that emerged there isn't part of the enemy lineup, and that's more due to the barrel that we kept intact on that last force point. But it's well worth it because it gets rid of that. It eliminates the having to deal with 3 blockers. So anyway, this is the hard part right here. So this is one way to deal with the this area, but you want to try to use the infinite if you can. Alright, so anyway, once you get past this part, it could take longer depending on the atlases. But anyway, when you get to this part right here, you're pretty much fighting Ritu here. So anyway, you gotta respect Ritu's space when you're fighting him, because he does his 3-way hops. He will sometimes either be passive, or he'll get very aggressive. So in other words, do not engage him when he recovers. And be very wary sometimes, because he goes for that spin kick on certain occasions. Unfortunately, this is the only fastest way I know of combating Ritu at the moment, which is kind of sad because in all these years I've speedrun, I have not found a faster way to deal with this guy. Not to mention he breaks out of grabs and holds for the most part pretty quickly. So anyway, just put him through Suplex City, aka chain throws, and just hope he doesn't attack you. So we're going to the final phase right here. And that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much it for round 6 overall. Oh, hey, Mantis Style, how you doing tonight? Yeah, I'm just finishing up this part 6 of my tutorial. I did try to do it earlier before the year ended, but for some reason the stream was acting up and I had to pretty much redo it. So I'm glad I got this out of the way. I don't think my tutorial is going to be that much of a big hit, but it's going to be there for anyone that needs it. So in case they want to speedrun this, they'll have some knowledge. Oh, that's no problem, man. Style. I usually play a whole lot of retro games. I rarely play anything new.